Welcome to today's walk and talk. Last night I attended a community live event facilitated by my good friends Althea and Chelsea. They're both amazing. Check them out. I'll tag them in this video. But they host these periodic, sort of energy updates. They tap into their intuition and they share, things that they've learned about what we can expect energetically over, and then they identify the period. So, it's a lot of stuff happening right now, y'all, like, solar flares and things happening in the sky, things happen politically, things happening economically, things happening in different markets, things happening globally, things happening in terms of war. Like, there's a lot of really, really big events happening right now. And so, considering the work that I do, I talk to people a lot about what keeps them in a state of anxiety. What are some of the events? What are some of the occurrences that have them, feeling not quite themselves, feeling anxious, feeling uncertain? And, these events are ways that I can deepen my perspective and, get inspired. And so I just want to share like the thing that inspired me the most about the session last night. They were talking about, Thea and Chelsea were talking about how right now this energy is really calling us to be a bit more playful. Like we can all step into a bit more of a, like, just do the thing that you never would have done before. As long as you're safe, as long as you're not harming anybody, do that, engage in that childlike activity and have a contained space for that and just allow it to be something special. And a lady on the call talked about, one of the ladies that was like one of the attendees, she shared the story of how recently she was with her girlfriends and their children. They were looking for something to do and they decided to go into they decided to buy some paint guns and just go into the nearby park and just have like a paint gun fight. The kids, the adults, and they're just running, just having fun, indulging in play. And the kids were all like, wow, I can't believe y'all, I can't believe we doing this. It's a memory. And I couldn't help but think about how something similar happened to me this weekend. So Sunday, I took my son to the High Museum of Art. And in the High Museum of Art, there is a kids' play area. And in the play area, if you can imagine, suspended from the ceiling are these like long, padded columns, and it's a bunch of them, and they're swinging. And so you run through it, and you kind of get hit by the padded columns, and it's like, like the size of a small room, a small office, and you just kind of run through that. And so my son's running through the forest of pendulums, as I like to call it, swinging from the air. He's running through, he's laughing, he's giddy. And me and two of my girlfriends, we're just like standing to the side watching him. And I'm trying to take a picture. I'm doing the things adults do. Instead of engaging in the play, I'm taking pictures of the play. So I'm trying to take pictures of him. He's not being still at all. He's running from here to there, to there, to there. He's just zipping around, having a time of his life by himself. Because there's not very many kids there. This is at the time where the museum is getting ready to close. So it's just like him and two other kids, and we're just standing watching. And then at some point, I don't even know how it happened. We just got like closer to the pendulums, the forest of swinging pendulums. And I saw my one girlfriend. She was kind of like leaning in, like she was gonna kind of maybe go in, and she had this look of like mischievousness yet glee and joy. And all I could say was, go in, like get in there, have fun, like go. And then like as I'm saying it, I'm like, I want to do it too. So I just run in, and then we all run in, me and my two girlfriends with Amir, just running through the forest of swinging pendulums, having the time of our lives, giggling like children. Like literally just having this moment where everybody's face is just like literally like like the happiest that you've ever been, and it's funny because it's the forest of swinging pendulum. So like you can't really like constantly see another person. Sometimes you just see the pendulum. It could actually seem a little scary. And then you see a smile, right? All of a sudden you see somebody's face and they're just like, and we did that for like 5 minutes. And honestly, I don't know how long we did it. It could have been a minute. It could have been 10 minutes. Like, I literally have no idea. But I imagine it was a few minutes. Meaning, and the reason I point that out is meaning we lost track of space and time. We were so present, so in the moment, and so like it's just filled with joy from this small act. And when it ended, you know, everybody came out of the forest of pendulums, and everyone was just like, wow, that was fun. Like, wow, that was a lot of fun. We should do that more often. We should do things like that more often. And I didn't really think too much about that moment. Like, I just experienced it, and then I went on to the next moment. I never sat and reflected. I didn't come home and write a beautiful journal entry about that moment. I actually didn't even, I didn't speak about that moment until like right before I'm recording this, because I shared it with a friend. And when I shared it with a friend, that's what made me wanted to actually just record this. So even in the moment, it took for me attending Althea and Chelsea's session for me to go back to that moment and realize how special it was, and actually thank God, you know, thank my creator. I call my creator God. Thank the universe. Thank God. Thank, you know, thank yourself, right? Yeah, like I thank myself for allowing that moment to happen. I thank my creator for, you know, creating, you know, an environment where that could even exist. I thank the manufacturers of this forest of tubes, forest of pillars, right? I thank them for creating such an enjoyable thing, you know, knowing that, you know, maybe some pollution happened to make this experience, right? And then you could go dark, but no, I'm gonna just keep going light, you know. I'm going to definitely sit with the dark, and they talked about that in the session a lot too, sitting with our emotions, and I thought that was interesting because I just hosted a session Friday where I taught a group of commercial real estate association members about sitting with emotion, particularly when faced with organizational change and uncertainty, and how we have to learn how to sit with our emotions in the big moments of our life that throw us off our rocker, that make us uncomfortable, and we have to stop skipping that step. And I taught a whole class on the risks associated with skipping that step. The data, I gave research, I gave neuroscience, and then the risk mitigation strategies. The one that I'm gifting this class was mindfulness and meditation. And there are many, many, many risk mitigation strategies too, dealing with your emotions, dealing with the fear of sitting with emotion, right? And so, you know, to kind of wrap this up, I just want to encourage anybody that sees this video to understand that if you're feeling a bit called to indulge and play and to tap into your own individual childlike wonder, if you're being called to do that, perhaps listen, because you're not alone. A lot of people are being called to do that right now. And we're getting ready to enter the holiday seasons where life is going to be filled with childlike wonder. You know, we have these moments, and it behooves us to maximize the opportunities. And the way that you can maximize the opportunity is not doing what I initially did, or maybe just allowing yourself to get to it when you get to it. But when you have these moments of childlike wonder, at some point, I'll say within a week, but maybe it hits you when it hits you. But at some point, reflect on how it made you feel. Reflect on the joy, journal it, or speak it out, like me speaking it out. That's journaling for me because I'm a speaker. And I write and I speak, and I speak and I write, you know, and that's how I roll. And so that's what I encourage other people to do, write or speak it out. What about that made you feel good? What was it like? And how can you bring more of that energy into your life if it felt good? And if it's been some days, how has that helped you? Right? Yeah, get into reflection, because when you start doing that, your brain is actually going to create new neural pathways, and you will start to notice behavioral patterns and behavioral changes, and your beliefs start to change, right? New patterns are being made, which will be reflected through your behavior. And the more that we really understand that, the more we'll start doing the work. So that's the message. Under 10 minutes, do the work. The more you do the work, the more you will find that the work will work for you. Practice stillness today. Take a moment to enjoy all that is. And as a matter of fact, as I close this 10-minute video out, we have 30 seconds left. Let's just take a moment to gather ourselves, be present. I invite you to close your eyes if they're open. I invite you to take 3 deep breaths, really expanding the chest, the abdomen, inhaling and exhaling. Keep doing that for a few minutes. And reflect on how this video makes you feel. Peace.